I bet you're sitting there thinking, damn, Russ Delmore, he needs a nickname. Well, Stephen Plays, he's got you covered. The perfect nickname for Russ Delmore, Mount Russmore. It's official, all 6'5", 219 pounds of him, Mount Russmore. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your Saskatchewan Stags here at the trade deadline 2025-2026. How you doing? The boys are rolling right now, 40, 18, and 5, and Hiroyuki, 97 points. Ladies and gentlemen, 97 points to go with his 97 overall. Mr. Boss says, I've watched and played a ton of franchise modes, and I have never seen a player get higher than 96 high franchise. Yet Hiroyuki is 97 overall. 97 points in 63 games. I'm going to guess, all right? I'm going to write this down. I'm actually going to use a pen. You hear that? That's me clicking a pen. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to say he's going to finish with 56 goals, so 10 more goals. No, maybe not. Yeah, you know what? 56 goals and 122 points. All right, that's what I'm going to say. That's my guess, and I'm sticking to it. He's obviously having a monstrous year, probably going to hit a career high. Actually, he had 54 and 71 in 2022, so if he hits past 125, I will be ecstatic. But he is having an insane year, leading the league in points. Now, of course, all the boys, they're always going to put up numbers no matter what. We do have an issue, however, on the back end. We have a lot to talk about our goaltending. Now, Cameron, he says, try and sign Big Germ to a 1-year contract because that would give Russ Delmore 1 more year to develop him, and if he rejects all the contract, you can qualify him to an RFA. I actually can't. He won't be in arbitration. He'll go straight to a UFA, so I pretty much have to sign him right now, but I get what you're saying. Maybe give him 1 more year until Russ Delmore is ready to take over. Mount Russmore. Now, Ben piggybacks that. He says, best option for Big Germ is to sign him to a contract with the cheapest AAV possible and then move him at the draft or in the free agency period. Now, what I'm thinking is we go 1 more year and we split the time with Big Germ and Mr. Russ Delmore. But let's continue with the comment. If Big Germ is on a good deal, then teams would be more inclined to trade for him, obviously, and then you would get a better return. Even though you might want to hold on to the elite goalies, where the Stags are at, it's a very good return. You say a top 3 or top 5 pick, especially if the squad needs retooling in a couple of years. So we kind of have a good situation here because no matter what, Big Germ, one of the best goalies in the NHL for sure. He's going to obviously put up numbers. He's going to produce no matter what. And we have the next wave of goalie coming up here. I think he's 11-3, 11-3-1. So he's playing fantastic, and that's good news for us. Now, Jack the Sniper, he says, don't trade Tamlin. You are a contending team. It would be dumb to trade away your 90 overall starter. I know, man. I feel you. I'm not going to trade him right now. We got to think a little bit in the future here. So what I am going to do, I'm not going to trade him this year. We're going to use him as our main squeeze for the playoffs, all right? So going into next year, we're going to have $23 million. Now, I'll go back to the Big Germ thing, but I think we checked last episode and Dolan wanted $6 million or something. 5.6 for 6 years. Not bad. I'll take that. Huxley, he's going to be relatively cheap, 2.5, 3, 3.2. So it's not a ton of money, but it is still a good chunk of change. And then we've got to sign a guy like Anthony Cirelli, who's going to be relatively cheap. So again, I think we can squeeze 1 more year with this team. Now, is it smart to ink Big Germ right now? Because I don't want to have him walk in free agency. I know he wants $9 million for 5 years. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of coin. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of money. What if I offered you $9 million for 3 years? Take a nice $27 million contract because he's going to be here for at least 1 more year. Maybe in the middle of next year we could think about trading him. We trade him to a team. Team doesn't have to worry about re-signing him. They got him for 1.5 years, 2 more years. $27 million over the course of 3 years. Big Germ, are you going to sign? And then after that, we'll have to figure out out how we're going to keep this team together. But once we do trade Big Germ, because unfortunately, I think it's kind of inevitable. I think it just might have to happen. That's going to clear up a ton of other caps. So here's how the team is looking now. There's a lot of talk about, do we trade for maybe some more depth? Now we got a comment here from Daniel P. He says, I would add a 7th defenseman and a 13th forward that are solid, just in case someone goes down in the playoffs. So there's a bunch of other comments saying, yeah, trades kind of make sense, but the team is doing so good. Everyone's producing at a decent rate. There's really not a need to make a trade. But I see what you're saying about maybe getting some insurance. But down there in the AHL, we have a guy like Seth Jarvis, who we can easily bring up. We got Pierce Beach, we got Hoagland. So, I mean, there's a few players, Franzen as well. He's going to be ready for next year. But as for defense, we have any defense we could bring up? Just the same 2 guys. I mean, we could have a look around to see what's out there. But again, I don't really want to make a trade just to make a trade. There was some talk about maybe bringing Connor Brown from Arizona over. Fiddler is a guy that we could probably part ways with, actually. So I could probably move the big kid down to the 4th line, then maybe move Fiddler down to the AHL for that insurance, and then we could just trade picks and whatever prospects for a 3rd line sniper that could be Connor Brown. So maybe I'm thinking more about Connor Brown. I was reading over the comments and a lot of people told me maybe Connor Brown is the best option. Now, Arizona is a rebuilding team, so they're going to want to get rid of him. Just going to be a playoff rental for us. We've had a few of these. None of them have really worked out like I wanted, but maybe Connor Brown will be a different story. Now, in order to acquire him, I don't think we're going to have to trade a whole lot. We have a bunch of picks, so if I could part ways with one of our seconds, like if I can give them Washington's 2nd or maybe our 2nd and like our 7th, basically just for Connor Brown, have to be a little bit more than that actually. A 2nd and a 3rd. A 3rd for next year, or we could throw in like a measly prospect, maybe a goaltending prospect. We don't really have a whole lot, but let me see what I can do here. Let's see if we can make a trade that works out for both sides. All right, so we're going to throw Nordquist and Heatley. These are 2 guys who aren't really going to go anywhere anytime fast. This guy was a 5th round pick. He's low 60s, 6'5", 220. That's a big boy. But 20 years old, 63 overall. I think we should part ways. A 2nd and a 3rd for a 3rd line scorer. Connor Brown, 16 goals, 6 assists. Obviously playing on not the greatest team over there in Arizona, but a team I don't think we've made a trade with yet, but we're very familiar with their roster. Connor Brown, are you going to become a member of the Saskatchewan Stags for the postseason run? Trade accepted. There you go. On behalf of the Arizona Coyotes organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out there on the ice. There you go, baby. Welcome to the squad, Connor Brown. So that gives us that extra little depth because we can call up Fiddler if anything does go south during the postseason. So let me change up the lines a little bit here. This is not how I want it. I got to get everything perfect, and then we're going to continue on, and hopefully Big Germ signs that contract extension. Now I'm having a look at some depth defensemen we can maybe just throw down in the American Hockey League just in case if there's any injuries, but I was just looking. Look at this Kyle Wood guy. I think that's his name. Kyle Wood, 6'7", 237. This guy's an absolute animal. How come I've never heard of this guy? He's a unit. I would trade for him, but he's got 2 years left at 1.4 just for an AHL defenseman. I mean, I'd rather get someone who has 1 year left just for that insurance, like maybe Olofsson. Olofsson is a guy. Gustav Olofsson, there you go, 31 years old. This is a guy I can try to acquire, or maybe someone a little bit younger, like Reinhardt. But again, I kind of want someone who's going to jump up and be NHL ready just in case we have any injuries. 80 overall, I can just trade scraps for him. So here you go. We're going to make another move. All right, how does a 4th and a couple of 50 overall 20-year-olds sound? That sounds like a sweet deal to me. Come on, baby. You know you want to do it. Are we going to put Olofsson on waivers, though? Wait, that's a thing I want to check. He is on a one-way deal, so we are going to have to chuck him on waivers. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to do that. We could just healthy scratch him and be kind of a dick and just healthy scratch him. We're basically just giving up assets for a maybe player at this point. I'm going to keep looking around. If there's someone on a two-way deal, I'd much rather have that because I just don't want to lose them to waivers and we just basically gave up a fourth for free. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So let me find a two-way defenseman who's like low 80s, like maybe 79 overall, like Scott Mayfield. Two-way deal? Come on, baby. One-way. That sucks. All right, so I think I found a better trade for the Saskatchewan Stags. Now, we're going to get a prospect who's basically going to be ready to go for next year, but as well can hop up in the postseason if there is an injury, and someone who could be really, really good for us. So we're going to give up Jamie Law, this Paris Hogan guy, which is actually one of our better players in the American Hockey League. We're also going to give up Carl Grossman, who was the second-round pick, low elite, 19-year-old, 65 overall we drafted last year in exchange for Kalle or Kale, pretty sure it's Kalle Klingberg, who is a 21-year-old defensive defenseman, 79 overall, former first-round pick. Now, this guy looks like the epitome of a shutdown defenseman. He's got 90 defensive awareness, 85 strength. His stats are all basically almost NHL ready. He was actually drafted by the Canucks, so he's been bounced around a little bit. Now, I love my Swedes. I'd love to acquire this guy. This guy can basically replace Nick Leddy for next year. I'm a big fan of this Klingberg guy. We're also going to acquire this Marcus Mueller guy, who's 20 years old, another third-round pick, just to make the trade go through. We are going to have to give up a second. I mean, you got to pay to play, and we're going all in this year. So will this go through for Kalle Klingberg? Trade rejected. All right, I might have sweetened it just a little bit. I can throw a third in from like 2028 or something just to sweeten the pot a little tiny bit, but we're getting a former first-round pick, a guy who's pretty much going to be NHL ready for next year. They don't want to get rid of him, but I would love to pry this guy out of Colorado. Will the third make it go through? There you go, baby. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Colorado Avalanche, and we consider it a done deal. Thank you very much. Now, I'm thinking more in the future because Klingberg can probably play in the NHL next year, and I don't have to pay him NHL money because he's still going to be on his entry-level deal. So that's just me trying to squeeze that one extra, maybe we could have still a very sick competitive team next year. Just by saving that extra little bit of cap, we can maybe spend that extra $1 million or $2 million I would have spent on a bottom pairing guy. We don't got to pay him anything because he's still on his entry-level deal. Now, we're done trading. Connor Brown, welcome to the squad. So here's how Connor Brown fits on the squad. He's going to be with Huxley and Afinasenkov. I like that line a lot. The big kid from Edmonton, Anthony Cirelli and Norm Clarkson. Defensively, we didn't touch, obviously, and then goaltenders are still the exact same. Obviously, since this is the year to go all in for the Stanley Cup, obviously I traded a couple of picks. You got to pay to play. That's the main rule. Now, it looks like there's a ton of trades going on in the NHL, so if anything sticks out, I will have a look at it. Forsbacka Carlson was moved, so that he goes from Vegas to Edmonton. Madison Bowie goes for a first, a second, and a prospect. Tyler Parsons goes for Ben Hutton. Okay. Whoa, we got a blockbuster, boys. We have a blockbuster. Buffalo acquires Sammy Blais and a fourth for Rasmus Dahlin, a third and a fourth. So that makes the Blues a lot stronger, but Sammy Blais was really good as well. We'll have to look up that trade. Holy, that's a blockbuster. Philly gets a goalie and a first for Dougie Hamilton, so Hamilton's on the move. Vancouver gets Jacob Verana, so there's another big move. The Blue Jackets acquire Steven Stamkos for 2 firsts and a prospect. Oh man, we got to look around the league here. Holy, some huge moves. It looks like Calgary gets back Sven Berchi. They drafted him, fun fact. And then there's all our moves. So holy, Steven Stamkos goes to the Blue Jackets. Okay, Columbus, I see you. Holy, center depth, how are ya? Jesus, watch out for this team. Wenberg, and they got Puljujarvi in free agency last year as well, and they're paying him what? They're paying him 11.3. They got Wenberg, Puljujarvi, and Panarin, excuse me. They got Beach, who was the first overall pick. He's got 30 goals in his rookie campaign. All right, Beach, you want to play with Steven Stamkos in your rookie year? Sure, we'll make it happen. He's having another fantastic year. That's crazy. I've never seen Stamkos be moved in a trade in franchise mode. That's wild. And they have this Sjogren guy who was a first-round pick, so they are stacked. Wait, this guy's 19 years old, 87 overall? Really? This is rookie year? Holy. Columbus, calm down. Nikita Sherbak, Alex Texier, and Andre Palat, like, That's basically a second or a first line right there. Are they good on defense? They're pretty good defensively as well. And between the pipes, they got Nedeljkovic and Malcolm Subban. So, wow, yeah, they're stacked. So Buffalo gets Sammy Blais, 89 overall, second line center. They're looking good as well. Damn, Michael Dal-Cole goes from playing on the third line to going to play with Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart. How are ya? So defensively, they still look really, really good. Okay, wait. Okay, this makes total sense. AIGM, I love you. Now, when I traded Shaika to Buffalo, I didn't think that would cost Rasmus Dahlin his job, but Shaika gets in and Rasmus Dahlin is out. Finally, the AI did something smart. Now, the Blues definitely needed a guy like Rasmus Dahlin, but that's a huge move. That's one of the biggest trade deadlines ever. Alright, enough of the trading. Let's get into some simulation. Starting off game number 1 with Connor Brown on our third line right wing. Let's go against the Sharks, and it's 1-1. Huxley, how are you, buddy? And then Josh Anderson, he scores on Big Germ, period number 2. Alright, 2-1. Boquist on Tristan Jarry going into the third, and we shit the bed. Oh man, this is not going to be popular in the comments. I know Big Germ's going to get ripped apart. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. 4 goals in the third. You just hate to see that. Connor Brown, though, he had an assist in his first game, so he's 1 for 1. Really didn't want to see Big Germ have a third period like that, but yeah, that just sucks to see. Now, he did accept the contract. There you go. After he gets shelled, he gets a contract. So we don't got to worry about the Big Germ fiasco right now. There's an overtime win. Still yet to have 20 L's on the year, but that's the xTech jinx. No, it's not. 7-1. Boom. How are you? Then we bounce back with a 4-1 win against the team without Rasmus Dahlin, and then we win 5-0 against the team with Rasmus Dahlin, and then we win 8-2. Boom, how are you? 45, 20, and 6. Now, can I ask a favor of you guys? I need, losing 8-1, yikes. I need someone, I don't care who it is, but maybe you there with the cargo shorts and the blue t-shirt, maybe you can go back and I want to see every single year. I want you to tell me how we finished in every single year. Year 1 through year 6, I think we are. I want to see progressively how we've improved. I want to see, year 1, year 2 we sucked, year 3 we're good, year 4 we're really good, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can someone go put it in the comments? I'll pin the comment. I'll give you a virtual high five. I want to see year by year how our record has improved, and maybe if we've won the President's Trophy in that year. One quality assistant GM is going to do it, and that person is an absolute legend. All right, the last slow sim game, actually no, the second last slow sim game of the year against the Detroit Red Wings. We can get 49 wins on the year. Now, if you need an update, Nika Solani has 29 points and Iguchi has 27. All right, so this is going to be a huge night. Potentially, with a good night, we could tie or even pass Nika Solani in the head-to-head point department. So here we go. First period, Detroit versus Saskatchewan, a rivalry that's going to go on for the next 10 or 15 years. First period, it's 2-1. All right, Iguchi, he gets 1, but of course, Nika Solani gets 1 as well. Anthony Mantha scores for them, making it 2-1. Period number 2. All right, we have a huge second period. Sugimoto, Norm freaking Clarkson, and Iguchi with his second of the night. Michael Rasmussen makes it 4-3, cuts the lead to 1. We're being outshot. I don't even know who we have in net. I think Big Germ's in net, but I trust him. I trust the big guy because Norm Clarkson gets his second of the night on UC Saros. Fourth liner, Justin Falk. There you go, baby. Doubling up on him, making it 6-3, hoping that Iguchi is getting all of the secondary assists. As of right now, just strictly on goals, not assists. Iguchi trails by 1 because he had 2 goals. Obviously, Nika Solani just has the 1. He's still trailing by 1 point. Cole Caulfield, all right, that could be assisted by Nika Solani. We'll have to wait and see. Granlund with 50 seconds left. Oh my God, I thought they were gonna tie it up there. I was like, Big Germ, not like this, not like this. All right, 11 goals in that game. That was a bit of a wild one. All right, so Iguchi only had the 2 goals. I say only the 2 goals, but he had 2 goals, so that makes him up to 29 points, and we know for sure Nika Solani at least had 1. Okay, he had 2, so now he has 31 points. So unfortunately, Iguchi still trails a little tiny bit, He will surpass him, I promise. Looking for win number 50 against a team that kicked us out of the postseason last year. They're looking for win number 49. That's a 3-0 shutout, baby, and that's 50 wins on the year. Now, just for fun, we'll slow sim against Connor Brown's old team. Say what's up to Agent C. Got to meet up with him in the hallway before the game. Period. Number 1, and it's 1-0. Who is it? It's Agent C. There you go. Period number 2. Oh, there you go. Talk about a second period. Dolan, Sugimoto, Falk, and Huxley. 30-14 are the shots. We just stomped all over them in the second period. Make it 5-1. Mahalik, the 49 overall legend. Raphael Lavoie, the Edmonton Oilers draft pick, he makes it 5-2, and then Sugimoto makes it 6-2. Getting a bit of a wild one here. We're running up the score. Don't stop now. Get hot before the postseason. Sugimoto, baby. Is that a hat trick? Did he get one in the second? I think he did. Oh, God. Make it 9-3. Hiroyuki, Iguchi, and Agent C get goals in the last 7 minutes. Yeah, that's a wild one. 9-3. Not uncommon for the boys to put up 9 goals. Sugimoto with a hattie. Hiroyuki with 4 points. And Agent C with 2 goals of his own. I mean, even if we lost every single game this episode, I'd still be happy because I know that Chaika is finally playing in the NHL. Thanks, Buffalo. Bunch of good guys. And we finished the year on a 1, 2, 3, 4 game. And we finished the year on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak. We're rolling going into the playoffs, 52, 22, and 8. Now, who do we have in round number 1? Give me a team we haven't played just for fun. Going in the postseason this year, we're winning the cup. I'm giving the guarantee, and we got Boris Yakupov in round number 1. Have we played the Predators? I don't think we have. I don't feel like I'm super familiar with their team. I'm feeling it though. I'm giving it the guarantee, the xTech guarantee. The xTech jinx happens a lot, but rarely do I give out the xTech guarantee. I'm saying we're winning the Stanley Cup. I don't care what it takes. We're doing it. Now, let's talk about individual points. I said Hiroyuki is going to get 122 points, 56 goals. That was my number. And 124 points. I was 2 points off. Pretty close guess, though. Not a bad year at all. 57, I was 1 goal off as well, but almost gets his career high. Oh man, what a year. 34 power play points, 1 shorthanded goal. His second 50 goal campaign, plus 62. No, I didn't read that wrong. You're not hearing things. Plus 62. Damn, what a beast. Now, his line mates, I guess they had pretty good years, 109 and 106 points respectively. Not bad at all. Probably the best first line in all of hockey. Now we got Boquist with 70 points, ladies and gentlemen, a plus 63. Whew, have yourself a year. Is that a career high? No, he had close to 80 points. He had 77. But still, his third 70-point campaign, 20 goals as a defenseman. You absolutely love to see every single second of that. Our second line, 65, 68, 68. Not bad. Chubbs definitely held the scoring there. So we have 4 30-plus goal scorers. Now, Boquist hit 20, so that's going to be 5 players with 20 or more goals. That's awesome. Justin Falk, just a casual 62-point campaign as a 34-year-old. Justin Falk is an absolute legend in every single sense of the word. What a beast. Norm Clarkson, 41 points. Not bad at all, kid. Not bad at all. Considering he was on like the 4th line pretty much the entire year, not bad. Afinasenkov with 40 as well. Connor Brown with 36. So in the 19 games that Connor Brown ended up playing for us, he had 14 points, 8 goals and 6 assists. That's awesome. I'm very, very happy with that. Anthony Cirelli, another solid campaign, 36 points. The big kid from Edmonton, 35 points. We scored a lot of points. Aiden Huxley, not quite the year I was expecting, but 31 points. I'll take it. I mean, look at the position that we're in right now. 26 points for Julian goal in. I love that. That's awesome. Not quite a career high. His second highest point total with 26. He had 27 a couple years ago. Bowen Byram, steady as all hell. He gets 23 points. And then Mahalik, the beauty, the biggest beauty in the entire league. He gets 14 points. Just imagine being a 49 overall guy getting drafted. He's like, man, maybe I'll make it. Maybe one day. And boom, he makes it, baby. And he has 14 points. What a beast. Now, as for goalies, looks like Big Germ kind of took over there towards the last 20 games of the NHL regular season. 38-18 with 6 shutouts. He's still the man between the pipes, and I still trust him going into the playoffs. Russ Delmore, he had a record of 14-5-1, pretty damn good. Now listed as a backup as an 80 overall, so he's slowly but surely growing. You love to see that. Now, in the entire league, I don't think Big Germ's going to win the Vezina because Carter Hart had himself a year. So did Thatcher Demko, but goaltending's pretty damn good on the West Coast. Carter Hart, Thatcher Demko, Big Germ. Got a lot of really, really good goalies here. Anton Forsberg apparently is a starting goalie. As for rookie skaters, Tim Mrata. He was the guy who had 1 goal and like 60 assists. He finishes off the year with 79 points. Finally scores a little bit more, 6 goals there. Miroslav Ivanez, he finishes the year with 38 goals. Look at this rookie class. My God. Braxton Beach only scored 1 goal in the final 20 games. Didn't he have 30 goals last time we checked on him? Maybe he doesn't like playing with Stamkos. Now, as for the Art Ross Trophy, is it going to go to Hiroyuki? No, it goes to the stinkiest player of them all. Sam says exactly what's on my mind. The stinky guys always play for Detroit. Why do all the stinky ones go to the Motor City? Oh man, 78 goals, 49 assists, 127 points. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the stinky thing, there's a guy who was in our Seattle franchise mode named Felix Pox. He ended up going to Detroit, and he was the stinkiest player of them all. Just the smelliest fella you ever met in your life, and he ripped it up. But I don't know, something about Detroit, they just attract all the stinky guys. Nika Solani wins the Art Ross and the Rocket. You hate to see it. And Oscar Gormley, once again, has a fantastic campaign. He has 96 points, but I highly doubt that the Florida Panthers are going to be in the playoffs, and that's the thing you hate to see. I'm going to say Boris Yakupov led the league in hits. No, not even close. He's not even up there. Oh, man, the big guy. You got to throw your body around. Where are you? Imagine Nico Hischier having more hits than you. What a time. Maybe he led the league in fights? Maybe? No, Mahalik led the league in fights. Actually, he's tied with Boris Yakupov, but Mahalik, the big dude, he's up to 82 overall now. What a beast. 20 fights in the regular season, tied with Boris Yakupov. Now, just for fun, how many goals did Yakupov have? 43. Wow. Okay. Definitely got to watch out for that guy. The defensive defenseman who loves to score goals. Guy's a freak. Now, are we going to be a President's Trophy winning team once again? No. We're tied with Pittsburgh, but Calgary and Carter Hart, 56 wins, 115 points. Now, what I'm interested in is goals for. I think we scored a lot of goals, and we actually number 2, 4 goals behind Pittsburgh. So they have, obviously, Kessel, Crosby, Malkin. They have that Russ Tierney guy. Goals against, how many goals do we allow? We allowed the 4th least, 247, not bad. Power play percentage, we're number 6, so it's not bad. I'll take that any day of the week. PK, 78%. That's good enough for at least top 10. Again, I'll take it. On the road and home, we're basically the exact same, 7-1-2 in our last 10. Now, just for fun, let's do a little bit of pre-scouting on the Nashville Predators. So they're way better at home than they are on the road, so that's going to be good news for us since we have home ice advantage. They finished with a record, they had 95 points, they finished 46, 33, and 3. So obviously we'll go in depth on their team when we go into the postseason. Here's how the playoff tree looks like. I'm feeling very, very confident with our squad, and once again, Oscar Gormley, I'm actually hearing rumors now that he's going to go apply for the PGA Tour because he's just the best golfer in the entire world. This is going to be a very difficult playoff run because if we get past Nashville, we have another rematch of the Winnipeg Jets, or we have Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn, Austin Matthews, and the Dallas Stars. So it's going to be a wild playoff run. I can't wait for it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you think we won those trades, let me know. I'm feeling very confident with the squad going into the playoffs. We're 7-1-2 headed into it. I can't wait. I'll see you guys then.